This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're dealing with an older Frigidaire gallery dishwasher that is not pumping the water anymore. So we're going to be replacing the dishwasher circulation pump. So I've removed the filter and I've removed the top part, the top assembly for the impeller housing by removing 3 Torx 15 screws. And now I'm using a turkey baster to just get all the water out. So I'm going to disconnect the dishwasher by unplugging it and turn off the water and undo the water connection, undo the drain connection, and then I'll be able to get the dishwasher out. There's also a couple of Phillips head screws up at the top of the dishwasher that I removed to get it out of the cabinet. Now I'm just going to wiggle it out. And once I get it out of the cabinet, I'll tilt it on the side so I can get to the circulation pump. The replacement circulation pump for this model was really hard to find. It's pretty different compared to the most common type. So now I'm removing the electrical connector, and then I'm going to remove these 2 Torx 15 screws here in the front. This is just holding a plastic case that holds the circulation pump in position. Then I'm going to remove a Torx 15 screw from here. And then there's 2 on the other side of the pump that I'll remove. Just got to lay down so I can see them. And I'll be able to get the pump cover off at that point. And then I can pull the whole pump assembly out of the sump. So for this pump, the pump continued working, but the impeller had broken off of the motor shaft. So we ended up finding a new circulation motor. And it's no longer made, so luckily there was a person on eBay that had 2 or 3 of them. Got the housing off. Now we're using a Phillips head screwdriver to separate the pump from the housing, and we can see there's 2 O-rings. And when you put on the new pump, if you put a little bit of liquid detergent on those O-rings, it makes them slippery and it makes it easier to get the new pump in. I want to make sure that the housing is fairly clean. There's no food particles in there or little broken pieces of glass. We're going to push the new one in, and you'll notice that there's a little groove on the outer rim of the pump that fits into a groove that's up against the sump. So there's only one way that that pump can go in. We're going to put the housing then over, and then you're going to have to push it a little bit to really get it to sit down as flat as it needs to go. You're going to use a little bit of force. Then we'll add in the 2 Torx 15 screws on the front. On the more modern version of this, it's actually a lot easier. There's just a clip that holds on the pump, and then a couple of models there's just 2 screws. But this one, it's an older model. It's probably about 12 years old, maybe older. Put a screw here at the top, and then 2 at the bottom. You no longer make this pump. Put the electrical connector back on, and you are essentially done. Now we just got to reinstall everything. Oh, we got to put these 2 screws on the bottom. There we go, nice and solid. Now we're going to just tilt the dishwasher back up on its feet, and we'll wiggle it down back into the cabinet. We'll get this fill hose to go into the hole in the cabinet. We've already got the plug through and the drain hose through, so we just get the fill hose. There we go. And get the dishwasher put all the way back in. Sometimes it's good to raise up the legs a little bit to be able to get the dishwasher in and out. And then once it's in, you can bring the feet back down to push the dishwasher up into the cabinet and get it nice and level. So to do that, I push up on the dishwasher a little bit and just use my hand to spin the feet down for the front. Did the one on the right. I'm pushing up with my other hand to get the dishwasher up high, and then I spin down the left one. I'll reach back in there and I'll do the same thing for the back feet. You can use a wrench, but probably just do it with your hand. So we'll get the dishwasher nice and balanced and pushed up into the cabinet. And then we will put in the other parts. We're gonna put a couple of screws in there at the top to hold it in. Almost doesn't need that, but it's just good to do to make sure it won't fall out. So we'll put the impeller housing back in. We have to tighten up 3 screws to hold it in. There we go. One more. Here's the filter. Can only go in one way. We'll put the lower spray arm back in. We'll put in the retaining piece. And we're going to pivot that until it locks in. So if you lift up, the spray arm can't come out. So we got to pivot it the other way until it locks. There we go. All right, now we can put our water connection back. Tighten that up. There we go, get the water back on, put our drain connection back, get that tightened up on the hose clamp. Just tighten up this other hose clamp. There we go, get it plugged in. Start it up, and it's doing good. It's pushing the water around as it should. We get the toe kick panel back on. Those are just held in by a couple of Phillips head screws. And dishwasher was back to new, almost like it had a heart transplant. Might last another 10 years with that new circulation pump. So I hope this helped you. And please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.